Okay, greetings everybody. I want to welcome you here to Prog Monster. My name is Murph. I am the host of this show, a show dedicated to progressive rock and other forms of rock music. We're doing an episode of this week, which comes out every Sunday. I try to get it around noon, but for the last few weeks, because of the circumstances of both my job and the new apartment that is coming, plus um, plus the internet here isn't great. I've had to shuffle things around and prepare things at a different pace than I normally would. Now, last week went pretty good. I think the only show that didn't come out on time was actually two. The first one was this one this week, and the other one was the Friday night ranking of the albums. I had a really hard time uploading it. It was done plenty of time, but I couldn't get it to upload, and I didn't have time to go somewhere else to upload it. So anyways, I think it was like a half hour late. Everybody else was, I believe, on time. So I'm going to try to do that again this week, with the exception of this show, which will be late again because of the circumstances. So having said all that, what is this week about? For those of you new, this is a show that we do every Sunday that talks about the normal shows that we do on this channel for the week. And I may talk about upcoming stuff in future weeks and months. Excuse me. And sometimes I dwell into the past a bit just to correct some mistakes, which I've already done. So I'm not going to go there this week. So we are doing, basically, I believe we have 8 shows, regular shows on the docket this week. There will be no series. The series, which was supposed to come out last week, got messed up because of the internet again. So I've decided to put all my mini-series on hold until I get into the new place, and then I will schedule them to be out at a certain time. So at any rate, let's get on the bus here with the show. So the next show that normally comes out, I'm going to need my glasses for my notes if I use them, will be 2 music commonalities compared. And the 2 that Ben has given me this week are Alan Holdsworth and Robert Fripp. Obviously, this is a guitar one. And I believe we've already had a guitar one. Yeah, we did. Rory Gallagher and Stevie Ray Vaughan, who are completely different guitar players than these 2. So we will be talking about these 2. I do not have a huge amount of experience with Alan Holdsworth, only a few such opportunities have presented themselves. A lot more involvement with Robert Fripp, but I do see the commonality here between the 2. And for those of you who are new, the 2 musical commonalities, it's usually Ben, who is a subscriber of mine, picks 2 musical things. Could be guitarists, could be bass players, could be drums, could be albums, could be groups, could be solo artists, could be a lot of things, and they have to have something in common. So my job is to point out what the commonality is, talk a bit about each of their guitar, in this case guitar styles, or whatever the particular thing is that's common about them, why they're common, and what makes them if anything, a little bit different in some ways. So the 2 we're doing, of course, I've already said, Alan Holdsworth and Robert Fripp. That will come out tonight at around 8 o'clock, probably shortly after this week. So the next episode that we're doing comes out on Monday night. It's Monday night's look back at a classic rock album. This is one of 2 shows that I have done fairly regularly. Well, actually, since I started instituting shows about 5 or 6 months into this channel. Before that, I would just do stuff randomly, and then I decided to kind of itemize it to make it more easily available to people who are looking for that. And so I've come up with these shows. So this is a look back at a classic rock album. The album I've chosen to do for this week has disappeared out of my stack, wherever it went. Oh, here it is right in front of me. BTO's debut album. Definitely a level 2 album for sure. I don't think it's as good as the 2 I've already done for Look Back, but it's still fairly solid, really good album, and we'll be doing that one for a look back at a classic rock album this week on Monday night. the next show that we normally do comes out on Tuesday night. Now, this one is an alternating show. So one week we do this show, the other week we do album sides, which we did last week. So we will be doing ranking the songs this week. The album I've chosen is one of my favorite. I know it's not one that a lot of people think of as being one of his better albums. I like all the songs on this album. The funny thing is I like them all, but none of them are really amongst my favorite of his stuff. And we're talking about Peter Gabriel 2 or Scratch if you prefer. Yeah, every song on here I like, and part of the reason I like I'll get into when we do the show on Monday. So I hope to see you then. On Tuesday at 8. Okay, Wednesday's Favorites, which comes out Wednesday at 8 o'clock, is a show in which I do some kind of list. So usually it's either a 5 list, a 10 list, or a 25 list. Those are the three areas that I normally do. Once in a while I do a ranking of the groups or ranking of the albums of a group. I haven't done one of those for a while, but I have one in mind, but it won't be going this week. But I want to wait till I get into the new facility, hook up all the stuff that I want to hook up, the other computer, the mic, all that stuff. I'm hoping to make that much better for everybody who's viewing this. So that show will probably come out once I get that set up. This week, we're going to do one that was suggested by from a member of the group, Zarky. He mentioned this a few weeks ago, I believe. And the one he suggested was 25 songs, a 25-song ultimate rock and roll set list. So if you were going to concert and you could see whatever you wanted, 25 songs, whatever you want, performed by whoever happens to be there, so you might have 25 bands just for you. It's a one-time fantasy thing, so we're going to call this 25 Ultimate Rock and Roll Set List. And this will come out on Wednesday, of course, which all my favorites do. This is usually the most popular show on the channel. Hasn't done as well in the last few weeks, but normally it is the most popular. I'm hoping this one will be interesting and fun to do. When he suggested it, I thought right away, yeah, I can fit that in on my next 25, and so that's what I'm doing. I have a few other 25s that I'm looking to do as well, but this one can squeeze in this week. Okay, so the next show that usually comes out on Thursday night at 8, and it's called What's New. This week, I've chosen an album that I've had actually done the setup for. There's a couple of them I still have setups for, and I decided to pull this one out of those setups, called Mangrove and the Bridges of Fiction. So this will be the album for this week. And then I'm going to start looking into what else has been coming out lately and maybe do a little bit more of that as I've caught up a little bit on what I wanted to do. Friday night's show, which comes out at 8 o'clock, called Ranking the Albums. This is a show that Ben and me put together. What he does is he picks 4 albums from his vast collection, gives them to me to rank, and I listen to all 4 albums, and I decide which ones rank first all the way down to 4th. The one that ranks first goes on to the semifinals, and then at the end of this round we will have 2 semifinals and a finals again. We did this already once. It seemed to be well off. This one I think is being even better. He's chosen 4 really solid groups and bands this week, 2 of which I'm really well familiar with, the other 2 not as familiar with, but we'll be doing them on Friday night for the ranking of the album show. And then, of course, the last episode this week will feature What's New. My new album hauls for the month of May. Yeah, it's that time already. I only have 5 at this present time, and there may be a chance to produce some more, but I've been kind of holding back on buying much stuff because of the move, so I don't really want to haul more than I have to. it's already going to be quite a bit with what I've got behind me and other stuff that I have as well. So hopefully, hopefully you'll enjoy these. They were all fairly solid albums. I already did a video on one of them, so some of you will have seen that on looking back at a classic rock album last week. And I'm hoping to enjoy all 4 or 5 of these albums are quite good. So anyways, we will see you throughout the week. If you want to hit that like and subscribe button, that would really help and be much appreciated. Any comments about anything or any suggestions or anything that you'd like to see or hear more about, you can put that in the comment section, and if I can accommodate it, I will for sure. Anyways, please hit the notification bell so that you get up-to-date notifications on when this stuff is coming out, and we will see you very shortly tonight, and take care and have yourself a good one. Bye.